Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgates, where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL Dolphins Talk. Hope everyone's having a wonderful morning here in paradise. It's a beautiful day out. Give a shout out to Michael K., Von Joe, Chris Smith. Hope y'all are having a good day, a good weekend. God bless y'all, and let's get this shit show going.
Put some lipstick on this pig, right?
Yes. You know it. How are the gentlemen doing this morning?
Doing good.
Can't complain, just doing household chores.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. I got that's why I got my coffee.
Morning, Liz. If you want Shake, go ahead and drop that link.
Okay.
You know, it's another one of those days where we got shit to talk about because there ain't no news yet, really, since big trade would happen.
Yeah.
Training
camp is coming up soon, so that's
training camp's right around the corner. Hope y'all got your tickets. Hope y'all got your tickets for the training camps. I know I got mine. Johnny, you got anything to speak on?
No, I mean, there's not much to talk about. You got that whole Samuel thing with his dad, and then supposedly he came out and said that he would play for the Dolphins, that him and his dad really don't have a relationship, so, his father doesn't speak for him, so.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if they would sign him or not, but, it's, one of those wait and see. Are they going to sign him during training camp or after, or, wait till after the first game of the year, because then there's no guaranteed contracts. It's just, you come in and play, and that's that.
Yeah.
There's still some corners out there that are available, but nobody seems to be chasing after them, so.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm still with you, Johnny. Right now, I still see just a 5 or 6, maybe 7 win season.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, the roster is not bad except for the secondary. I mean, I don't know if the secondary is any better or worse than last year, but I'm still concerned over that.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, there's so much going on And it's just like we said a few years ago. We look like a Super Bowl team on paper, but paper doesn't play the games.
Right, and paper doesn't take into account for injuries and the what ifs. That's the biggest thing is there's so many what ifs with these teams. If guys stay healthy, what if they stay healthy? All right, you got some good linemen, defensive linemen. You know, the offensive line looks better on paper, but they got to stay healthy. They got to play the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And God knows we've had injuries after injuries the past few years with many of players as well as Tua himself.
Oh yeah, I mean it's statistically, I think over the last 2 or 3 years we're well above the injury average. So maybe we get lucky this year and that works out in our favor, and we're well below the injury average. But that's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, don't forget too. And let's say it does. A lot of teams don't realize too. Even if you do stay healthy, games are maybe 1 or 2 plays away, and it could be a bad call, a bad snap, a bad fumble.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, there's times in a game where you have a turnover and it doesn't hurt you, and then there's other times in the games where a turnover just absolutely destroys momentum or changes the entire game around. Same thing on defense. You get that guy that drops the interception that could have turned the game around, or they cause a fumble and don't recover it, and the momentum stays with the other team, and that's the game. That's the way it's played. Things can happen, good or bad, in either way, and you got to hope you get more of the good ones than bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've seen Tyreek Hill dropping many balls that are like you're wondering like that could have been the whole game right there if he would have just made that one catch.
Yeah, and I mean he played last year with a hurt wrist, so
we've seen Jalen Waddle drop balls too. I mean, we've seen all receivers drop a ball when they should have. You're like, damn, if they would have caught that ball, it would have could have changed the game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that happens to every team. I mean, no receiver catches 100% of what's thrown to them. No quarterback puts the ball 100% where it's supposed to be. They're off a little bit, and the receiver can't get to it or gets alligator arms, or so it's there's a lot of what ifs that go into football, whether it's the off season or during the game. So we just got to hope that, like I said, we get more of the breaks and statistical things go our way this year than we have in the last few years. And if they do, maybe we can have 10, 11 wins. If they don't, 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wait and see game. It's crazy on how things happen. I mean, but we need to break this streak. We need to break this streak of non-playoffs.
Yeah, we missed playoffs last year. Playoff win. When we need to get into playoffs and win a game and show the fans that they're actually building in the right direction. I'm not convinced they are this year. That's just myself. I know there's a lot of fans out there that are saying 10 wins, 12 wins, stuff like that. And hey, more power to you. If that's the way you see it, I'm glad you do. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be right.
Yeah. And I was talking about training camp yesterday. I was like I said before. Everybody says this is like the worst secondary that in the NFL. So if that's the case, there shouldn't be no reason why the Dolphin wide receivers don't play lights out in training camp, especially on 7-on-7s and things like that. You know what I mean? If our quarterbacks are so bad, there shouldn't be an issue of our receivers looking good in training camp.
Yeah, but the problem with that, if our receivers look that good, it proves that our secondary isn't that good, and teams know that we're going to have to score 35 points or better to win games.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least on 7-on-7, when you're doing 11-on-11s, that's a lot of variables go into wide receivers and cornerbacks. But 7-on-7, it's just cornerback and wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, because of our receivers, that our corners and safeties do get better because of who they have to play against in practice. So, I mean, the offense right now, if the offensive line gels, I think the offense looks good. It's the secondary I'm worried about.
Yeah. It can go either way. I agree with you. I'm worried about the secondary the most. The offensive line, I hope they can come together. We have the players there. The whole thing is, can they gel and come together as one?
Well, we hope we have the players.
Yeah.
Patrick Paul isn't proven. And he's going to be the starting left tackle. So hopefully the kid pans out. And
that's where it happened. It's also they come together and gel as one. Is needed as just as well as everything else. He may not be proven or anything, but he's had some opportunities to play. We got new players, new starters for position on that side.
Cam Jordan. What's up, Cam Jordan, watching from Twitter?
What's up, Cam?
Cap, what's up, Cap for life? Thank you for joining the panel.
What's up, Cap?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Papa. Shake.
Hey, Cap, what's going on?
Ah, man, woke up and breathing. About to get some cardio in, man. Get the blood flowing. What's up with you guys?
Just having our shit show talk.
So, I mean, look, we spoke the past couple of days, and my thing is, we're all talking about the offensive line and the secondary, but I mean, is our style of play going to change? Is our quarterback running back ratio going to change, knowing McDaniel's pressed against the wall right now? My point is, are we going to change philosophy? Are we going to change scheme, knowing that McDaniel loves to run the ball? Are we going to cater more to what we do best, or are we going to cater more to the air assault?
Well, I mean, I think McDaniel's proven over his years he likes throwing the ball. Doesn't mean it's going to work. I mean, I think they have to change philosophies because teams figured out what they were doing. All this pre-snap motion and bubble screens and wide receiver screens, and teams know what they're doing. They got to change something, otherwise they're not going to win games.
Yeah.
So what kind of ratio would you guys want? Would you want more of a 60-40 running back by committee? Would you want a 50-40-10 with the tight end implemented? I mean, are you content with the style of play that we have now, knowing that the NFL knows our tell? Do you think
No.
we should switch it up?
No,
they got to switch it up. They got to be more balanced.
I would say, like you said, 50-40-10 would be the ideal aspect, and having a tight end, the tight end needs to be used, but we need to have a tight end that is not just strictly a blocking tight end, because then they're going to know the play every time.
Yeah, that was the problem we had with Gesicki. Remember?
Yeah.
So then you guys would be okay with Tyreek not going ballistic for the 2000 like everybody thinks he is? Are you content with him being more of a decoy as opposed to like the deep vertical threat that we want him to be? Like, do we change it to that extent?
Listen, I think they have a good season by the end of the year. Tyreek needs to be around 1,500 yards. Waddle needs to be around 1,200 yards. And the running backs need to be between the three of them at 1,500, 1,600 yards.
Yeah, because my thing is, if we get to the midpoint of the season and we're not where we want to be, I mean, I'm afraid McDaniel's going to end up just throwing out the whole playbook and just saying, "F it, I'll do whatever I want." And if the things get to the point where guys get traded mid-season, then what the hell was the point of catering to a receiver that you're going to trade mid-season? You know what I mean? Like, we need to have a backup playbook, is what I'm saying. If we're not going to go all in with the aerosol, because I think we got a lot of running backs that need to be fed.
Hey, but
Oh,
by the
they
way,
definitely need.
one of
Go
the
ahead,
one of the
Jake.
things I like to say is I would like for a successful season is Waddle and Hill both at 1,200, and then you have 2 or 3 other receivers at least at 600 to 700. So that tells
Yeah,
you that we're having a
that,
balanced attack.
exactly. That's a good balance.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's basically what I said. Hill at around 15, Waddle at
yeah,
12, and then the
and
other receivers, between tight ends and other receivers, they need to be somewhere between 800 and 1,000 yards.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that I know Tua wants to fling it, but I don't want to play hero ball, man. If we got a good nucleus and we know we're doing in the beginning of the season, I mean, don't break don't try to fix what's not broken if it's working at that point, man. Because I got a feeling McDaniel's going to switch it up, and it's not going to be to a lot of people's likings.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got, if it does work, we got to keep going with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because remember our best year was everybody talks about the 23,000 year, the 23 year, right? 80% of the passing yards went through 2 guys, and I think that needs to change. It needs to be uh, 80. I would say between if we have 4,000 yards, it needs to be between 5 receivers.
Well, this is the crazy part, man, because yeah, you're right with those numbers. But at the same time, we were averaging, and this is crazy. We were averaging almost 9 yards a carry with A-Chain and Mostert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't understand why we can't do that again.
we have the
Because I
running
mean,
backs. We have the running backs, and we need to use them. But we got to have that front line working properly in order to give them the room they need to get out there.
yeah, but I would think that we've upgraded to the point where we can get that more than 5 yards per carry. Because I couldn't believe what I was seeing at one point. It was up to like 9 or 10 yards a carry in 2023. So
Yeah,
if we're saying
no,
that if we're saying the offensive line is beefed up more and ready, McDaniel should know, hey man, this worked before. Like, let me not get cute. You get what I mean?
yeah,
Oh,
totally.
absolutely. Listen, we've said that a million times. McDaniel needs to change the playbook, do more runs. 3rd and 1, you got to be able to run the ball. 4th and 1, you got to be able to run the ball. None of these, bullshit screens. And the other defense, the other teams know what you're doing before you even do it.
The fans in the stands know what you're doing before they do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether I'm sitting in the stadium or sitting at home watching TV, I already know what's coming. I watch them line up, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. We're doing this again.
You remember what was it back in the day when Tannehill used to scream a certain type of code? They knew it was run, and when he did something else, it was pass. And then when Gesicki was on the field, it was supposed to be run blocking, and when he wasn't, it was they already knew like what we were doing the majority of the time.
But my funny thing was, I don't know, I forgot it was a couple of years ago or last year. He goes, "Yeah, doing that that was a bad play call on my part, and I'm gonna take responsibility." And then the next week he does the same play call. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes into his press conferences saying, "I've learned from my mistakes," and then goes on and makes the exact same mistakes.
Yep.
You gotta love it.
If,
One
if,
thing
if
I learned to accept, he's not giving up the play call. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think at this point now with Champ Kelly coming here, I think he's like, hey, Greer, let me handle this. I think there's somebody in that quarterback room or that offensive playbook calling room. You got 5 guys, man. Somebody has to take the reign if McDaniel starts to get cute. I would think.
well, if he has final say, no, there's nothing nobody could do.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean, crap, man. Like, if you know something's not going to work, man, you got season-proven coaches that are above him as far as like intellect. Like, if you have them there for a reason and not utilize their strength when it comes to play calling or mind bleeping people, I mean, you got too many cooks in the kitchen if you're not going to use their brain.
Yeah. So yeah, in other words, look, it's like you're running a restaurant, right? And then you have the busboy running and you have like five chefs, and you have the busboy calling the shots.
Yeah. Ah,
Now
that was the second.
I saw something this morning. I don't know if it's true, but supposedly New England was trying to get Darren Bevel away from us, and he turned him down.
Man, I believe it too. I mean, at that point in time, he was looking for a job. So
Well, all right, here we go. Philly and KC throw more screens than the Dolphins. Why aren't those teams figured out?
Well, because it may be the formation that they're lining up in to run those screens.
no,
You know,
I think Lewis is trying to hint that they have elite quarterback play under center. I think that's what he's trying to hint at.
well,
Which I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not just the quarterback; it's the coach, it's the play calling. You know, situational football is huge, and Mike doesn't seem to.
Well, also it's the execution of the players too. I
Right?
think
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, let me ask you guys this. We haven't talked about it the past couple of weeks, but the past 2 weeks we've been getting obliterated nationally, and I had a feeling it was coming. Now that the storm has passed, I hope and pray. I mean, is there weight to what the National is saying as far as our identity that we do not really have? Like, is it warranted the amount of abuse we've been getting verbally the past couple of months?
I can't speak on that because I don't watch any of the talking heads on TV. I can't stand them.
It's
So
been bad. Johnny, it's been
I don't
bad.
I don't listen to them. I don't care what they say. Um, you know, these guys are 50-50 with everything they do and pick and say, and they, you know, when they're right, they blow their chest out and say, "Hey, see, I told you." And when they're wrong, they just sweep it under the rug and don't even talk about it. So I can't listen to any of them. I can't tell you the last time I put on ESPN or anything else.
No, I would say, yeah, we haven't had a playoff win. The only reason we're a winning franchise still, one of the top winning franchises, was because that run Shula had. But other than that, for the last 25 years, yeah, it's just
No,
like and think about it. Up until recently, the Lions have been getting that scrutiny. The Jets have been getting that scrutiny. The Cleveland Browns. There's a lot of teams that have a losing tradition that have been getting that scrutiny. So, I mean, I don't think we're any different than those franchises that I just mentioned as of now.
Yeah, I just think we're going through a bad patch right now, man. But I've never seen it like this before. I've never heard it like this before. It's just like we've been hearing the phrase echo chamber the past couple of months, and the amount of like stuff that we hear back and forth that's being like echoed throughout the league. I would think that this would be motivational material for our guys. If not, shame on them, because if you think you would want to play harder now more than ever with everybody saying this, I would think this would be bulletin board material for real.
yeah, but see, the problem with that is, and I agree with you, but these players are different than they used to be. These players are making so much money, they don't care who goes on TV and says, "What about them?" They're getting their paid. You know, they got guarantees in their contracts, and they don't give a frog's fat ass of what these talking heads are saying. I'm getting paid. My check comes in every Monday. I don't give a damn.
And I think that's the mindset that unfortunately we've been having around this organization that needs to change, man.
Nah, that's not just our organization, brother. That's all of them. When they started giving all this guaranteed money, the quality of
Oh,
football to me went down. The quality of
oh, Johnny, what do you think about that collusion stuff, bro? Do you think that has a hand in all the craziness that happened on the offseason with guys getting paid? Like, do you think the NFL and the NFLPA were they knew about this stuff and they were like, yeah, just go ahead and pay him because the revenue's going to start getting more and more. Like, just go ahead and pay the guys and set the markets on certain positions. Like, do you think that the NFL was like, yeah, go ahead, we're going to make money up the yin yang, raise up the market prices and all this stuff? Do you think
Oh,
that we
absolutely. Listen, you
do
think
you
there's
think that
not
affected
backdoor
us?
deals? And absolutely.
So that affected us more than anybody, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's we say it affects us more because it's our team because we follow them more. You can hear the same thing coming out of, I live up here in Giants and Jets country, and turn on the sports radio once in a while, and I hear the same thing that they're talking about their teams, how bad they are, and what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and how they have screwed things up, and you know. Our fan base is no different than anybody else. We just all happen to be Dolphins fans, and we talk about it all the time. So that's what we see and hear. But collusion, absolutely, it's been going on since the beginning of time. Every team has a player who has a friend on another team, and hey, you ever leave there? Come play with us, and I'll talk to the boss. And 30
Yeah.
years ago, you didn't see all these guys jumping teams like this, and free agency wasn't like it is because the money wasn't like it is.
Hey, but do you think that, like, with Chia getting paid, the back and forth with the seesaw battle of the quarterbacks breaking records, like, we've never seen any crap like that before, man. That's what I'm just thinking to myself. If they were thinking of setting the market on certain positions, and we ended up paying the price by overpaying on this stuff, I think that needs to be stopped, man, because we can't be setting the market based prices on other teams, and then they end up going somewhere else. That's not right.
Well, see, the problem is you get teams, some of these lower level teams like Cleveland, Sean, they started this with signing uh, Watson to that huge contract, and then every other quarterback was like, "Wait, I'm better than him. I need more money than him." And the only smart one out of the whole thing was Kansas City. They said, "Hey, we'll give you 10 years, $500 million, sign on the dotted line." And Mahomes said, "Okay, no problem. I don't have to be the highest, but I'm guaranteed $500 million over the next 10 years. I'm set for life."
Yeah, that's smart. And then he had it adjusted, I think, and prorated, I think, already once on top of that, so he can manipulate it and make it higher if he does better.
Right,
But
and
what I
it
find
saves money to
interesting.
sign other people.
You know what I
Yeah,
find interesting? Everybody's blaming the Watson deal, but in actuality, it was Kirk Cousins that got the first guaranteed contract.
Yeah,
He was the one that got the president,
that was
really?
that was another one.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me as an owner, I'm not paying you unless you've won a Super Bowl. You win a Super Bowl, man, I'm paying you. Up until that point, go away. You ain't worth it. Until you show me you're worth it.
And that's the mindset that they should have. These owners, man, they should stop. Hey, they're billionaires. I'm not one to tell them how to run their business, but damn, like, if you don't have to pay that amount, why would you?
Well, because not one of these owners goes on and listens to anything that we say. They don't care.
Uh,
Nah, they don't. They're making
And
that
Somebody
revenue.
says Mahomes had 3 restructures already.
Yup. And he did it like, no problem. Go ahead. Like, he's confident they're gonna win. Like, go ahead, do what you got to
Well,
do.
that's because he wants him to be able to sign pieces to put around him so they can win. Listen, Tom Brady did the same thing. And I hate saying his name, but he took less money to win more rings. And people say, oh, he's the greatest of all time. Well, I don't consider him the greatest quarterback of all time, but Super Bowl ring wise, he is. But he was a
Yeah.
smart guy. He took less money so they could put pieces around him and go out and fill holes. And they just kept winning.
Yup.
But however, not towards the end, because towards the end, that's why he left Tampa. Because he left New England because he's like, damn, I'm taking less money, but I'm not getting any. They're not addressing the offensive line. We're not getting any good receivers. So he felt like, damn, why am I taking pay cuts when you're not clearly not building the team like how it's supposed to be built?
Well, because
Towards
at
the
that
end,
point,
I'm not talking. I'm not like maybe towards the the middle and the beginning, yes, but like towards the end is like that's when he decided to leave to go to Tampa because he says they're not actually building the team.
Well, then he had already solidified his legacy, you know. So at that point, hey, I'm going to go where they're going to pay me, and then he goes and wins another ring, and you know.
And even Tampa, he was. To be honest with you, if you look at the money he took in Tampa, that's a bargain. He took a real he took low pay, considering what the market was at the time.
Oh yeah, because they were set. They were ready. They were ready to microwave it. That's the thing, though. He already knew, you know, he was pushing 40 at that point. But like what John was mentioning earlier, like he set the precedent, bro. Like, yeah, we're winning, but we can win more if we had a better offensive line. And then, you know, the secondary was always stout. I mean, yeah, I hate to say it, man, but that philosophy of style is something that we should, you know, we were trying to implement, but, you know, live and learn, I guess, right? The
Yeah,
hard way.
and then the problem is you tie up $90 million between three guys, maybe more, between Waddle, Hill, and Tua. Well, now where are you going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as far as the secondary guys, like I know everybody's giving them a hard time, but bro, all I've been hearing in OTAs and in minicamp was the secondary playing well. So I just don't put a lot of stock into that stuff, man, because you know we need to see what we have in house, and I just don't want that mindset to get passed off. Like, hey, we need to get other corners on the cheap. No, let these guys play, bro. We need to see what we have this year now. And if we need to fill in the gaps, we'll fill them in throughout the season because Greer's good at doing that crap, filling in holes here and there when we need to. I mean, the guy, for what it's worth, he is a wheeler and dealer, and he will find scraps out there throughout the season. But I'm just not quick to be like, hey, man, the secondary sucks. I hate hearing that, man. I hate it.
Oh, I'm not saying the secondary sucks. That's my biggest concern on the team is the secondary.
Everybody. That's everybody because it is valid. It is warranted because it's unproven. But man,
Right.
usually the unproven is like, man, you know, Surtain was unproven at one point. You know, freaking the guy that passed away, you know, what was his name? Vontae. He was unproven at one point.
Sam Madison.
Like Madison, you know what I'm saying? Like, let these guys do what they got to do before we bury them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not one of those guys that's burying them. I just right now until they prove it to me, that's my biggest concern.
Yeah.
If they come out and play well and gel and they're covering for each other and they understand what's going on and they pass off the way they're supposed to and you know, great. Then we're gonna have one hell of a defense.
That would be a hell of a storyline for like the first 3 weeks. Oh, the secondary's coming through on a team that didn't think that would come through. That would be great to hear.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm hoping for that. Listen, I hope I'm wrong.
Real quick, Shake, let's hear a word from our sponsors with quick commercial break.
Right.
Turner Yell makes the
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome ordering meals and desserts? Let Chef Drew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also, reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats. Food with a passion. We do it all.
Chef Jew, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach area. Don't forget to get your cheesecake along with your sweet treats and good eats. Welcome, Ollie the Persian.
What's up, Ollie?
Good morning, gentlemen. I have a question.
You got a hangover?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cap for Life. I'll wait till you're done. I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna say if you got a hangover.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
you're really quiet, Ollie.
Can you hear me a little bit better now?
No.
No. Okay, let me adjust my mic volume. Hold on a second. All right. What about now? Am I still quiet?
That's better.
A little better.
More
All
better.
right. I'm not sure why I'm quiet. I am speaking at normal tone, so I'm really sorry about that. What I wanted to ask in regards to, the secondary or position of needs that we still have on this team, is it possible because of the hiatus that second round picks haven't signed their contract yet, that Miami is at a standstill because of that? Because they don't know what's going to be the end result of, are they going to have to pay a fully guaranteed contract or not? If you understand.
Savanaya, you're right.
Well, no, guys, there's something that I did a little research, and believe it or not, 31 out of 32 second-round picks have not signed.
Oh.
Yeah, it's because everybody's waiting on a fully guaranteed contract. And if I'm Miami, I don't want to pay fully guaranteed, to be honest.
So
I don't want to do it.
That's going back to earlier, bro. Are we going to set the precedent and not overpay, or are we going to overpay now on our rookies? Wow.
Well, that's the thing. Second rounders have never been guaranteed, and now they all want a guarantee, and none of them are signing, which I think is ridiculous. You're coming into the league, you want to play the game, and then you're going to sit because, well, you haven't signed me. Well, we offered you a contract, you declined it. So now what's going to happen? One team's going to jump out there and say, okay, we'll guarantee it. And then all the other teams fall in line. And then next year, all the third rounders say, we're not signing until it's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So then who's going to be the team that does it? Oh, God.
There's only one second round pick out of 32 picks that is signed.
Yeah, and you know what? If you want your contract fully guaranteed, play well, and you'll live out your contract.
Well, that's the thing is that's part of the problem with this generation is, these guys want to get paid before they're proven. Go out and prove yourself. You want to be a rookie second rounder. Tell them, hey, listen, I'll sign this contract. I know I'm only going to make $1.5 million over the 4 years, but I want to come back and talk after year one or year two, or, put that in the contract. So if the guy comes in and balls out, then you talk to him. If he doesn't, well, you're still under the same rookie contract, bro.
I hope it's not a holdout, because knowing our luck, he'll be the last one to want to sign, and we're like 1 week away from camp.
I hate to ruin it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think the best compromise would be, all right, we'll fully guarantee the contract for injury. If God forbid the unthinkable happens, where a freak accident, because everybody's a freak accident away from happening, you'll be fully guaranteed. But if you're playing like shit, and we can move off of you at any time.
That's a good point. I hate to ruin this for you, Cap for Life, but based on who represents Jonah, he's gonna hold out. It's athletes first, just to point that out.
Athletes first.
Yeah, and there's already second rounders that have already announced they're holding out. Like,
we're not going to set it after everything we've been through. We're not going to set the market and dictate it. We're not. I would hope we're not.
No. I personally hope they hold their ground and we don't do it no matter what.
Yeah, but they know we need O-line help. They know it, and we know it. They know,
Well,
especially athletes first. They know.
And just to point this out even more, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the if you look at athletes' first record last year, all of their major quarterbacks that signed huge contracts, I think one of them out of all of them made the playoffs, and it was like a one and done game. That was it.
Yeah, they're pit bulls, man. I
Yeah.
hate to say it, but they're pit bulls.
Mm-hmm.
well, the owners need to come together and, tell all these second rounders, ain't none of you getting guaranteed money. Sign the damn contracts, or we're just moving on from you, and you can all not play the game.
That goes to the collusion aspect. They can't get together with other agents and try to hold up the market again because the NFL is already being watched for doing that crap. So I don't know if that's the same mindset or the same, philosophy that happened to them that got them, being eyeballed now. But if I'm Miami, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to set no market standard if I don't need to.
I did look at the rules. If they hold out and let's say they don't sign their contract, they can very well enter the next draft cycle. However, if teams knew they hold out for this guaranteed money, what's going to make teams want to draft you in the second cycle? You know
We'll
what I
see
mean?
there again. Now the owners need to get together and say nobody sign their second round picks. They're all waiting for guaranteed money. Nobody sign them. Let them enter the 2026 draft, and nobody take any of them before the fifth round.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do, to be honest.
But that would be on the agent side as collusion. You know what I mean?
Well, but the agents are the ones that are forcing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a catch-22, man. They need to figure it out because they're both looking. They're both looking like they're playing too much chess right now for no reason.
Yeah, you want to play in the league. You worked your whole life to get here, and now you're listening to some dumbass agent. No, you're a second round pick. Hold out for guaranteed money. When did second rounders start getting guaranteed money?
Yeah, that's a good point, though, man. I completely forgot about him not signing.
Yeah, but he's not, like I said, he's not the only one. It's 31 out of 32 have not signed.
Is he like the only guy? Is everybody else that from the rookies signed yet?
Yes. Yes, we've signed them all except him.
Because he knows. They know.
When have we ever had a situation where a second rounder hasn't signed before camp? It's always been a first rounder, maybe the week of camp we finally signed. I think Ryan Tannehill signed his contract the week of camp, to be honest, or something like that. We never had that situation, let alone a second rounder.
I don't think most teams did. I think this is the agents now pushing, and these kids are listening to them, and that's why you have 31 out of 32 that have not signed.
It's crazy.
This is the agents just trying to get more money for their clients, which I understand. It is a business. It's their job. But, we went from first rounders not being guaranteed to, okay, some of your money's guaranteed, to now most of it, to now the second rounders want guarantee. When's it going to stop? By the time you get to the fifth round, okay, you guys can't get guaranteed because you're fifth round. I mean, it's ridiculous. Coming in, what other job can you go into as a new employee and sit there and tell them you want guaranteed money when you haven't even proved yourself?
Yeah, and like the agent's not going to be like, well, you know what? We're going to go by the numbers that are being shown right now in the market. There's no numbers to show, so the agent really has no numbers to work with against the team.
Well, they do. They have numbers from last year. Second rounders were signing for this, so we want a little more than that, but we want guaranteed. Guaranteed my ass. You haven't played it down in the NFL. You haven't proven yourself at all.
Real quick, Shay, can you highlight Scotty's question up here and all?
Of course.
Okay, panel, do you guys consider players in other sports greedy because MLB contracts are all guaranteed, all those players greedy? Well, I'm going to say I don't consider them greedy in MLB because, first of all, there's minor leagues, AAA and all. They got to prove themselves in the minor leagues and all before they even get brung up to the major leagues.
Yeah, the farm system, yeah.
And secondly, if they cut a guy, I think the issue lies with, okay, if they could get guaranteed money and not affect the salary cap, the teams wouldn't bat an eye. But if they cut the guy, now you can you're crippling what you could do to the team, because that guaranteed money is going against your salary cap. So now you're screwed because that player didn't work out. Now I could limit what I could do because I signed that guy to a fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah, that's kind of why I think Miami is waiting to not do anything until this has been resolved. Real quick, to answer the question for Scotty, I personally don't think Major League Baseball players are greedy, because they've been paying players right out of high school multi-million-dollar contracts like it's nothing. So they don't have to be greedy because they know they're going to get paid no matter what. That's why I think Major League Baseball, that you got to talk to the owners about that. They're the ones throwing the money around, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking, two different sports here, because the NFL has a salary cap. Major League Baseball doesn't. They have the luxury tax if you go over a certain point, but the big market teams don't care. They just pay the luxury tax.
Are their contracts guaranteed in the MLB?
Most of them, yeah. Most of them are guaranteed.
There's so much money thrown around cap for life that it's ridiculous in baseball, to be honest.
Hey, you never heard of Bobby Bonilla Day?
Absolutely. I live up here, brother.
Yeah.
I live up here every year. That's in the newspapers, on the news. He got his $1.1 something million this year, all the way through 2035.
Wow.
Isn't what was his name? The guy that played for Texas and then played for the Yankees, Rodriguez? Is it Alex Rodriguez? Isn't he still getting paid by like 3 different teams? It's kind of ridiculous. He's still getting money from everybody. Because they kept signing him to hundreds of $1 million deals, and then they traded him, so he's still getting money from everyone. It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
look at the guy. What is it? The guy in LA, Tahani or whatever his name is.
The guy that signed $700 million or something.
Yeah, but he's only taken $3 million a year, and he put the rest off, and he's going to get paid for the next 50 years.
He's going to get paid for the rest of his life.
Right.
Chicks for life.
Okay.
And you can't blame the guy for signing the contract. I mean, listen, it's any sport. I don't care. I mean, we can talk about Tua's extension, but that's what the team offered. He took it. He signed a paper. They're not going to say no to it.
So hold on. I want to address this real quick with Vonjo real quick. I understand it is kind of crazy that we're blasting players for being greedy, right? But I want to paint a picture for you on why I think it is kind of valid that we do this. If you look at the NILs and the amount of money that people are getting in college now, right? They don't care about putting it on the field and proving themselves anymore. It doesn't matter. They're just trying to collect an easy paycheck and walk, right? And it's starting to be evident because you got players that are going to teams that are not even in the conversation when it comes to a national championship run, and they're picking them over much bigger programs because those programs are paying them ridiculous amount of NIL money. And then what happens is like, oh, well, how much are you going to pay me? Instead of, hey, what kind of playing time I'm going to get? I want to be able to prove myself. How can I help the team? There's that mentality is gone. Now it's just like, give me money. I don't want to play. I don't want to play.
Well, Ali, just not that. It's like you're signing a contract, and then during the midpoint of the season, you want to change that contract and get more money. Like, I don't understand how that works. Like, if you're signing an agreement on paper, I mean, either there's clauses out of that contract in order for you to get that type of change, but I've never seen that in the NFL except for us, where guys are like, nah, I want more.
Dude, that happens every year. There's guys that hold out. They want more money. They sign a contract 1 year and then they want to restructure the next year because
No, I get
somebody's
that, but
making
why
more than
isn't
them.
everybody saying it to us like we didn't have to pay them? Like for everybody, Ramsey, Cheetah, Tua, like we didn't have to pay none of these guys, and that's what's becoming the majority of what's being put out there now. They're playing the result, but that's my point. Like, how many teams have you seen guys pay through the midseason after they just got a contract halfway, not even a year prior?
Mhm. So I listened to a podcast called The Buckeye Boys. There's a guy named Mello. He recently had a guy from a foundation for NIL that works in Syracuse, right? And he broke it down. There are players, even in, like, let's say college basketball, they're trying to negotiate the maximum amount of minutes per game that they'll play. Who does that? Who negotiates minutes saying I'm only want to play no more than 30 minutes a game? You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. And these are top recruits doing that. That tells me they want to get paid millions and work less. I don't understand it. That's just me.
Welcome to the new generation, brother.
Yeah, it's horrible. It really is. It's killing the game. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, if they're changing the cap numbers get changed, and that means more revenues coming in, so they can adjust the new revenue coming in, I guess, throughout the midpoint. But man, if you're signing a deal like these new changes that are coming now with these new TV deals and these new sponsorships coming in, that's more money. Then I would think that's probably the reason contracts are being manipulated now. But is that the right way to do business?
Well, as long as the NFL keeps growing and making money, yeah, it is the right way to do business. It's money driven. That's why
So
they
then
went to all this.
we basically set we set that market as well when it comes to like changing contract negotiations throughout midseason as well.
Well, I mean, it's going to, as long as the NFL is making money and going into other markets and putting games overseas and in other countries, this is what's going to continue to happen. And you can't totally blame the players because the players see, the kind of money that comes in. They want their piece of the pie, and it is a brutal sport. The average lifespan is less than 4 years, so they want to get paid when they can. But to me, I'm still old school. You signed a contract, you signed it. You knew what you were signing. You're an adult. Play it out.
So then what? These new contracts are going to be like, instead of 4 years, you'll sign for like a year and we'll talk. And then after that change, I mean, that's probably what they're going to end up doing. Because if the revenue is going to go up every year, then the amount of, the market has to be dictated by that.
I
That
mean,
would be crazy. Because that's basically what LeBron's doing in the NBA. He's leaving every 3 years to go somewhere else every time he gets more when they change the contracts. And before it used to be every 4 or 5, but now with the new collective bargaining agreement over there, these guys can leave after 3 years.
well, I'm still old school. You sign a contract, play it out.
No, yeah, I'm with you. But the way it's looking now, it's like, the more the NFL grows, the more changes will happen during the season.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's ever evolving. I mean, I don't know how old you are, Cap, but I started watching football in the early '70s, and guys were on their team. They were there. There wasn't much moving around. Guys weren't bitching and complaining. They signed a contract. They played it out. They stayed with one team, most of them for their entire careers. And yes, the money was not there like it is now, but there's no loyalty anymore. It's all about the money.
Yeah. I would hear guys talking about getting signing bonuses less than 50 grand.
50 grand? Shit, bro. I worked with a guy back in the early 2000s who played for the Detroit Lions in the 50s. He was much older than me at the time, but he literally had a full-time job during non-football. He played from September to December, and from January to August, he had a full-time job just to support his family. He played football because he loved it.
Yeah, that's how they did it back then. The players, there was no such thing as being traded to other teams. You started with the team and you were in that team until you retired, right? And then even when you're not playing football, like you said, working a full-time job. That's how it used to be. Now it's just like it's just gotten ridiculous, to be honest.
Well, it has, but you have to understand it's the business part of it. Back then, the NFL was not as popular as it is now. People didn't
So
buy jerseys, and they didn't have all this merchandise out there, and you didn't have a bunch of collectibles, and you people didn't travel around to see every game. If you had a season ticket, you went to the home games, but you weren't worried about traveling to the away games. And as the money has, people have made more money. In personal life, not just sports, but they do a lot more traveling. They buy season tickets, they go to other games, and so the money revenue is there, and the players have to get their share.
Let me ask you this question real quick, Johnny. I want to know your opinion. Do you think within the next, let's say, the next 5 years, because of NIL and how crazy it is and all that stuff, do you think there will be a drop off in talent in the NFL?
Oh, absolutely. Because the biggest problem with the NIL is like you got guys like Steph Curry, who is financing the college he went to for men and women's basketball. So every player makes money, whether they're a starter, a bench player, a superstar, in that college, or so he's financing it. And other players are going to be doing the same thing. Like I live up here in Jersey, and when they had the NBA draft, 2 of the kids from Rutgers got drafted in the top 5. And on the radio the next day, they were already talking about, well, in a couple of years, these guys will be able to fund the NIL for Rutgers basketball, both men and women.
I just think there's so much. I think there's so much academics right now when it comes to like college sports right now, man, that it's becoming saturated, and the NIL is the only reason that these kids are staying a little bit longer. Because to your point, Ali, if you start getting more guys going in the NFL, you're quick to change guys that are already under contract, and then that's probably when you start changing the years and contracts because of oversaturation. Because there is a lot of talent coming out.
See, listen, I'm for paying players, but I think there needs to be limits to it because this is the reality, right? I spent millions of dollars on a player and I gave him a free education, right, with a scholarship. What's the point of him actually going to class anymore? You know what I mean? What's the point of him actually graduating and doing something with that scholarship?
Yeah, but if you do any research, bro, most
I don't have to work for the rest of my life if I'm the athlete. Go ahead.
Yeah, but most colleges, do you understand that most colleges' graduation rate is below 50%? Kids spend their money to go to college. Some drop out, some quit, some can't handle it, some can't afford it. Colleges don't graduate kids, at 90, 95%. Go look at the statistics.
Really?
Yes, go look at it.
I agree with you on that 100%. I'm not disputing that. Well, I guess the part that I'm trying to just think about is the fact that are these kids even attending class? It's not about graduating. It's about attending class.
And here's the thing, too. If you're getting an NIL deal, as crazy as it may sound, then you don't need a scholarship. Give it to somebody who's not getting the NIL deal.
Thank you. That's really what I was getting at, 100%.
But the problem is most of them are going to get NIL deals now because of guys that make it to the pros are funding the program. So they're all going to get something. And as far as going to class, bro, listen, I had a son that played college football. And he played at D3 because he wanted to play linebacker, not safety, where bigger schools wanted him to lose a little weight and move to safety. And they gave him a $20,000 a year academic scholarship, football scholarship, because they couldn't. But one of his classes in his first semester was weightlifting. He's already lifting weights because he plays football. So he gets an easy A, and the first semester he makes the dean's list.
Yeah,
and it's like, come on,
Speaking of NIL, real quick, I'm sorry. Texas now has approved high school players to collect NILs.
Oh no, there's plenty of high school players that have already signed NIL deals. They're making $1 million being a starting quarterback for their high school.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Florida will start doing that too.
Florida's doing that too now? Oh my Lord.
Oh, they're going to
That's
start, I
today.
think.
I saw one. There was a 14-year-old kid. He's a basketball player. He already makes like $3 million a year on an NIL deal, and he's 14 years old.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Hey, well, I mean, listen, I don't mind that the kids get paid because the colleges make plenty of money off of their face, their name, you know, and then they're bringing in revenue because of that. But like somebody said, if you're making NIL, you shouldn't have a scholarship. That should go to a kid who isn't maybe as good or as promoted and didn't get the scholarship. Give them the scholarship so they don't have to pay for school, and you just collect your NIL.
Yep. Because there's only from my understanding, there's only so many scholarships a college could give.
Yeah, they're only allowed. Football has so many. Baseball, and baseball, most people don't understand. Baseball scholarships in college are not 100%. They take one scholarship and break it into 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, and give this kid 3,000, give this kid 5,000, give this kid 8,000, and they break it up so that they can have more kids playing for their baseball team and trying out.
Well, we're coming to the top of the hour here, folks. Let's save the rest of the talk for Wednesday night.
Yep.
We appreciate all of y'all joining us. You all have a blessed and lovely weekend, and stay safe out there.
Peace, love, and fins up, all.
everybody.
Take care,
Peace,
everybody.
love, things up.